Hello, dear friends. We will continue our lectures of environment evolutionary biology. In that, we will start new unit number 5, species a concept. In this chapter or in this unit, we have to study the biological species concept. In that, advantages and limitations of species and modes of speciation, allopatric and sympatric. So, species refers to formation of new species, whereas classes of organisms are called species. The term species can be introduced as a basic biological unit of taxonomy as well as evolution. The species has an old, dishonest history and has been defined in various ways by various scientists. Until the 19th century, species were considered man made categories of thought, lacking in character, and one species can easily switch to another. So, Carolus Linnaeus, for the first time, emphasized that species have constant characteristics and are strongly delimited against each other. So, either in plant or animal or any microorganism, the biological species is a basic unit of taxonomy and classification, or we can say a basic unit of life on earth. Then, biological species concept. A species may be defined as an interbreeding population which is reproductively isolated from other similar but morphologically distinguishable populations. In other words, a species may be proposed as an isolated pool of genes flowing through space and time, constantly adapting to changes in its environment as well as to the new scientific or environments encountered by its extensions into other geographical regions. A species is an individual or population with similar structural and functional characteristics which have a common ancestry and in nature breeds only with each other. The biological concept was introduced to replace the erroneous concept of morphological species, and it was proposed by 1937 by Dobzhansky and in 1942 by Mayer, and they gave most complete and practical definition of the species, that the species are groups of natural populations that actually or possibly intersect and are reproductively isolated from other groups. So, this definition deals with species as a dynamic unit, a stage in the evolution process and not a fixed entity. The main feature of the distinction between species is a reproductive isolation. It means that a species comprises of several populations. Interbreeding is very frequent among the individuals of a population and is occasional among the populations of a species, whereas interbreeding is absent among the individuals of a different species. It means there is a free gene pool or gene flow within the members of the population, and free gene flow could be maintained among the members of different populations of a species provided they have an opportunity to interbreed. But free gene flow between two species does not occur on account of marked differences in their genotype. It indicates that new species arises by establishment of a reproductive barrier or reproductive isolation. So this is about the species. Now some general characteristics of animal species includes that each species is an isolated pool of genes possessing regional characteristics. Each species fills an ecological niche. Each species remains process of continually adjusting to the environment. Each species possesses a constellation isolating mechanism. Each species has a capacity to give rise to new species. Now, some advantages of biological species are that these are applicable to many ecological studies. Species can define different species that may be morphologically similar, and during that period there was no criterion for defining a species except that a group of taxonomists would regard every polymorphic variant of a population as a species, and the second group would call every geographically isolated population a species, and that the third would call every morphologically different population a species, creating confusion. So biological definition of species helps in solving the riddle of taxonomy. So we can classify the animal with a proper group, with a proper family, and a specific animal can be categorized in a specific group. Example, two species of Drosophila, that is Drosophila pseudo obscura and Drosophila persimilis, exhibit great similarities but are reproductively isolated. So disadvantages of this biological species includes that it can't be evaluated in fossil record, ignores asexual species, only applied to population that geographically overlap. The concept is not applicable to species living either in geographically isolated area or at different times. The concept is not workable to the museum taxonomists and paleontologists. The concept is limited to sexually reproducing species because reproduction also causes differentiation, and Drosophila have two reproductively isolated species. So likewise we can have a different species in that taxonomy. So that these are the advantages of the biological species. So modes of speciation, how the speciation occurs. The speciation refers to the formation of new species. The study of speciation helps to understand the process of evolution. And species are formed in a variety of ways, and speciation is influenced and controlled by a variety of factors. Each species is a biological experiment. The species is a keystone of evolution, and speciation, the process of formation of new species, is the method by which evolution and advances. Without speciation, there would be no diversification of the organic world, no adaptive radiation, and there would be no evolutionary process also. So according to Mayer 1917, true speciation or multiplication of species may occur by the two broad categories, that is instantaneous speciation and gradual speciation. So in instantaneous speciation, it occurs through individuals, and it might be genetically by single mutation in asexual species, or by microgenesis and cytological changes, or by chromosomal mutation and aberrations. By polyploidy may also occur. And in gradual speciation, it occurs through population. Gradual speciation is the gradual divergence of populations until they have reached the levels of specific distinctiveness or distinctness. Two modes of gradual speciation have been postulated. One involving geographical speciation of the diverging population, and the other involving divergence without geographical separation. So there are these two gradual specification occurs, and in next we will see allopatric speciation. In gradual speciation, number one, allopatric speciation. When two related populations occupy geographically or spatially separated areas, they are called allopatric populations. The evolution of allopatric population into separate species is called allopatric speciation, and this speciation in a different places. It is speciation in different places, not in a similar or same species. So a species is formed of many interbreeding populations or demes, and they share a common gene pool. When there appears a geographic barrier, the species is split or fragmented into two or more groups and these groups separated by geographical barriers and called as allopatric population. So in this, the degree of speciation needed is still not clear, but the degree of isolation should be greater. So Lack in 1947 and 1949 explained with suitable example the importance of geographical isolation of speciation, and he observed the finch inhabiting Cocos Island. The finch bird in Cocos Island shows a differentiation in their species according to the feeding habitat, and the species divide into different subspecies. Even today, it is a question before the taxonomists where to classify the species. And he wrote, Cocos resemble the Galapagos in providing varieties of habitats and a single island, not an archipelago. Hence, there has been no opportunity for the geographical isolation of populations, and hence no evolution of new subspecies or an adaptive radiation. This shows that some effective means of spatial isolation is essential as an initial steps for speciation. So this was the work carried out by Lack, and he wrote about the Cocos resemblance of the finch birds in the island. So these are the parents, and these are the two populations or species created. So this one is the isolated population, and in isolated population new species can be formed, and in allopatric speciation the species is continually growing on same as that what created from the parent, and therefore there is no new species, and this is called as parent species. But those which are showing the changes in their own are called as new species. So in beginning, the gene pool of the allopatric population is similar, and since there is the geographical barrier, but there is no possibility of mixing of the genes between the populations, and develops the so this development and mutation and recombination in the population is shown. The nature shows mutation, recombination, natural selection, and genetic drift in different forms in different ways. So the genetic divergence is developed. When the genetic divergence is developed, the populations which once made effective interbreeding fail to interbreed when they are brought together by migration or by the disappearance of the barriers. So these are the drawbacks of this speciation in that, and therefore these hybrids may be sterile or may not well adapt to the existing conditions, and such a hybrid constitute biological wastage. So this might be the changes, and this might be the problems. Now second is sympatric speciation, in that when two populations occupying side by side evolve into two separate species, the speciation is called a sympatric speciation, and it is brought about by the influence of genetic divergence and isolating mechanisms other than geographical isolation. The evolution of sympatric populations into separate species is called sympatric population, and it is speciation in the same place. Since the sympatric population are living in the same habitat, they have the same needs with regard to food, space, and other requirements of life. To tide over the competition, the less adapted population follows one or the other of the following methods. It may become extinct, it may migrate to other region, and it may undergo evolutionary changes. So from the parent species, the sympatric speciation shows that the new species is created with a suitable changes in that particular. So in addition to that competition, there are other factors like mutation, recombination, polyploidy, hybridization, or natural selection, genetic drift, isolation, then founder principle, etc. These are the operational changes in the population and may cause the changes. So these factors brings about the divergence, and the new species may be created. So here the topic is completed, and the term objectives are given here. The answers to the objectives are highlighted. Suppose the term species can be introduced as a basic biological, this is the answer, unit of taxonomy as well as evolution. And the dash dash refers to the formation of new species. The speciation refers to the formation of new species. So that we have recently seen. These are the objectives that you have to continue study. You read it as per the exercise given at the end of your chapter, and unit number 6 will be started in the next lecture. So till then we will have a break here.